Hi everybody, I am Renee from Let's Take a Stand. In this video, I am going to be sharing with you an article that I found in the Atlantic. What life is like when corn is off the table. Corn lurks in so many surprising places, from table salt to apples to IV bags. This was written by Sarah Zhang, Z-H-A-N-G. This was January 18th, 2019. Let me get into it. So, when Christine Robinson was first diagnosed with the corn allergy 17 years ago, she remembers thinking, no more popcorn, no more tacos, I can do this. Then she tried to put salt on her tomatoes. Table salt has dextrose, a sugar derived from corn. So unless you get a sea salt or a Himalayan pink salt, and even sometimes those aren't safe, there's corn lurking in that. She tried drinking a bottle of iced tea. It contains citric acid, which is often comes from mold grown in corn-derived sugar. That's gross. You want to eat something that was grown in mold from corn-derived sugar? How does that even make sense? I thought citric acid came from citrus. What do I know? Clearly. So she also tried bottled water. And minerals in some brands can be processed with corn derivatives. She ultimately gave up on supermarket meats, which is sprayed with lactic acid from fermented corn sugar. Also, bag salads, there's citric acid in that. Fish dipped in corn starch or corn syrup before they freeze it. Grains cross-contaminated in processing facilities. Fruits like apples and citrus waxed with corn-derived chemicals. That's where my daughter, who is now 9, she was eating an apple and she got this rash and her lips blew up and everything else. And that's when I found out that the wax that they put on non-organic apples, cucumbers, and a couple of other fruits and veggies that have it on there, there's corn derivatives in that. So even though it's not processed, now you got to go the organic route, which now it's becoming more mainstream, but at the time it was quite expensive. So, so fruits like apples and citrus have wax with corn-derived chemicals. Tomatoes are ripened with ethanol, which is a gas from corn. Milk has added vitamins processed with corn derivatives in them. And that's not even getting into all the processed food made with high fructose corn syrup, modified food starch, exem gum, artificial flavoring, corn alcohol, maltodextrin, all of which are contained derivatives of corn. So just so you guys know, there's over 1,500 genetically modified forms of corn. And half of the names I can't even pronounce. You literally would need a translator for them. So it's such a useful plant, Robinson says of corn. It can be made into so very many things that are, from my perspective, trying to kill me. And literally, like, my daughter doesn't eat anything out of a box. Everything, every bread, every chip, every cookie, every cracker, everything. She doesn't eat meat. She's a vegetarian. Kind of her choice. Once she left the high chair, she didn't want to eat meat anymore, but that's okay. But you literally have to know where your food is being sourced from. I was very fortunate. The Whole Foods that I do go to, I started talking to the people in the store. They directed me to the manager. The manager had this iPad and was able to go through, get in contact with distributors, figure out what was on their lettuce, what they sprayed it with, this and that. It was like a savior for me. And then when it comes to medications, cornstarch is in every pill you take, literally. I had to treat her with antibiotics recently. I have a compound pharmacist in my toolbox, which is something that everybody with the corn allergy, you need to find a compound pharmacist. And if there's not one locally, find one to talk to that can talk to your drugstore, because there is a medicine that Epic I don't know. It's just where I just got my daughter's zithromycin to treat her strep throat. The name of the box is Epic. And they have their erythromycin liquid has no corn ingredients in it. So this is something you need in your toolbox. You need to find out what's going on top of the fresh produce that you're getting to make sure it's safe for you. You need to find a compound pharmacist that, if you get a headache or if you get sick, can point you in the right direction, or could maybe, call your pharmacist and give them the information. Then your pharmacist can order that for you. It's not no more going to calling CVS and going and picking something up in an hour, unless it's an EpiPen. Those are readily available and covered by insurance. So keep in mind, some medicines that you may have to take for pain and whatnot, insurance may not cover that. They'll cover an EpiPen to save your life, but they won't cover medicine to treat your ailments. Go figure. So, many people unable to eat whole corn can still tolerate more processed corn derivatives. That's not the case for my daughter and for many other people that I speak with, and for some groups that I'm a part of out there. That's not the story for them either. It's just not true. But to live with a corn allergy is to understand very intimately how corn literally is everywhere. It's you have to be aware of it. It's a big, long, dark rabbit hole that's, I swear, I don't think it has a bottom to it, to be honest with you. So, and most of the 14.6 billion bushels of corn, that's a lot, grown in the U.S. are not destined to be eaten on the cob. They are sourced of useful starches that are ubiquitous to the supply chain. So it's not just food. Robinson told me she's currently hoarding her favorite olive oil soap. So yes, it's in soap, it's in shampoos, it's in lotions, it's in toothpaste, it's in makeup, it's in mouthwashes, it's in everything. And yes, I have made this mistakes with my daughter of doing regular store-bought shampoo, and over time she started to break out in rashes, and then you have to literally dissect the ingredients and figure out what all these crazy chemical names are, and then usually down that rabbit hole you're like, oh, there's corn in this. Okay, great. So, corn can lurk in hand sanitizer, which the ethanol in it is made from corn. So, it's in IVs contain dextrose. So if you ever go to the ER and you need to have an IV, you need to have a saline IV. Dextrose has corn in it. It doesn't matter the amount. Oh, there's such a small amount. It doesn't matter. An allergic reaction is an allergic reaction. Long story short, my daughter used toothpaste, brushed her teeth with it. It was strawberry flavored, okay? She went into anaphylaxis. I ended up having to give her the EpiPen and call an ambulance to my house. And knock on wood, that was her last anaphylactic. Because after that, I was like, listen, unless I know without a shadow of a doubt that there's no corn in this, I'm not even giving it to her. And I don't. And that has to be my due diligence. And as she's 9 now, but as she gets older, she understands her limitations now. If there's a birthday party, I make an avocado cake for her with the icing, so she doesn't feel left out. We've been able to find some, treats and stuff like that I will definitely get a list of for you guys that she can eat. So I want to be one of your tools in your toolboxes. So, because corn allergies are rare, they say out there, and there's 10 million Americans. I was able to get that number off of Google. What is rare? Define the word rare, because rare to me means like 1 in a million. That's rare, not 10 million Americans. And who knows across the world, in every country, how many people are actually allergic to corn. And because corn's not listed by the FDA as one of the top main allergens, and it is everywhere, a lot of people are misdiagnosed with an allergy to something else, when in fact, when it comes down to it, and through painstakingly allergic reactions, they finally figure out it's corn. It's not wheat. or it's not gluten, it's corn. But a lot of people with one allergy can also have others too. So that's not very rare. So, you know, people with corn allergies have naturally been finding one another on the internet, which is why I'm here. Like I said, I want to be one of your tools in your toolboxes. If you guys have a story, if you find this and this clicks with you and you have a story and you have resources, please, I invite you to come on my channel to share this knowledge with everybody for the greater good of all, so we don't have to continue to suffer. So, you know, doctors are not educated on this. They don't know. They don't know. I mean, unless you're an allergist or you're a scientist and you study corn, you're not going to know how many derivatives there are. There's, like I said, there's only over 1,500 genetically modified derivatives of corn. Who will know that unless, like I always say to my daughter's doctor, I have one patient with this. You have many? I have one patient with this ailment. So who's, you know, this, she's my full attention, you know? So obviously I'm going to do more research because it's my child's life, you know, and I'm going to be her biggest protector when it comes to this. So, you know, unfortunately, this is what we're facing. I hope that you guys seek this out. I hope you find value in this information, and I want to be on here at least once a week sharing more. Anybody who wants to share their story, message me. Definitely like, subscribe, and share this channel so we can share the wealth of knowledge out there. Bye, guys. Thank you for visiting Let's Take a Stand. I hope you found value in this video.